This is the E.L. Brady building. It was built in 1914, and it was later used as a Piggly Wiggly in the 1940s and 1950s. Today it houses the North Brevard Historical Museum since 1989. Let's go take a look inside. Now at the front of the museum is decorated with a lot of Colonel Titus's belongings. His chair. And a fascinating lamp. And his private desk.
Yeah, we're just 2 blocks.
No, I know exactly where. I used to years ago. I used to try to
Sofa.
up there. Well, your husband used to be a auctioneer guy.
And Colonel Titus himself, who was an adventurer, fought in wars in Nicaragua and Cuba, and then as a officer for the Confederacy during the Civil War.
Yeah, it's interesting business for sure.
Oh, I'll bet it is. You know, I'll bet it is. You just never know what you like.
And here's some items donated from a dentist's office, including a hand-powered dental drill. Hope his foot didn't get tired in the middle of a drilling. And the Easter Bunny, a favorite here in Titusville, next to a bedpan. And this is a few telephones. Now I'm familiar with these phones from the 1970s, these rotary phones. This one dates a lot further back, probably to the 1920s, I would imagine. And this is a hot point electric stove, dates down back to 1924.
Depends on what it is. Too many variables.
This is an old electric washing machine and spin dryer.
As things come into the auction within about 7 days.
This is a telephone switchboard from around 1930. Here's a Singer sewing machine. This dates back to 1927. Let's take a look at what's in the pantry. Some Wayne small red beets, and LK fruits and salad. Some squaw. A lot of old glass jars. And this is a Anchor brand wringer. Back in the day, you'd dry your clothes and towels in this machine, hand cranked.
Is the game done?
And some dresses that the fine ladies of Titusville would have worn over a century ago. And amongst these wonderful hats is a dapper style hat a gentleman would have worn in the 1920s. Some old toasters from the 1940s.
You're right. One of those things.
A pitcher and bowl before the invention of the toilet bowl, or before the toilet bowl reached Titusville.
Well, it doesn't matter because
This is Senator Parrish's
I do.
roll-top
no,
desk.
I know.
I write the checks.
And this is the control panel that was used to open and close the old Max Brewer Bridge in Titusville, Florida, when it was a drawbridge. And this is the first safe that was used in Colonel Pritchard's Indian River State Bank. These adding machines were used in the Pritchard hardware store. And this is the display case from the James Pritchard and Son hardware store, dating back to 1889. This is a printing proof press of the type that was used at the Florida Star. in New Smyrna Beach, and then later in Titusville. And a mechanical typewriter that dates back to 1881. This is a homemade projector that dates back to around 1900. There's a carton of Coca-Cola bottles in its original case. An Erie radio and Peerless speaker.
We found one.
And an array of military uniforms
One phone booth that was on.
from all different branches of the service.
There was a phone booth out in the middle of nowhere, nothing around it. No buildings of any kind.
Including
miles and miles and miles, just a phone booth.
World War II. This is a Seminole dress, probably a reproduction,
Really?
and a Seminole Indian quiver.
39.
And these are etching knives made of wood, and they were used to beat the fibers free from soaked flax to spin into linen thread.
And we had to play catch up.
Interesting.
Thank God we had.
And on the side of the Historical Museum, there's some very nice murals depicting the early days of Titusville. This mural depicts Colonel Henry Titus, who was the founder of Titusville. This mural shows a scene of a steamboat, which the steamboat was very important to the early history of Titusville. That was the artery was to get to the town was through the St. Johns River, steamboats, and then overland to town, because the Atlantic Ocean and Indian River was not used to get into Titusville during the late 19th century.